Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It's always my pleasure to be able to bring you the best, the champion, people who are going to share their expertise, their stories, and their passion on the show. And today we have a guest coming all the way from India. You've already had the opportunity to watch him, and he's been here talking about mentoring the young mind. And today he's back. He's back to talk about circular economy, and circular economy is one of the big focus right now. And I think it's a conversation that's going to be just on point and relevant to all of us. So who is the guest? So it's Mr. Vilas Gharat. He has been, like I said, on the show before. He is the managing director of Gharat and Associate, and he's also a board member of the Textile Association India Mumbai. And I think he's gonna actually touch on the impact of circular economy in the textile sector. So we'll get to learn a little bit on that. And most importantly, and that's under that capacity that he came last time as my guest, he's a mentor of change of Atal Innovation Mission-NIT by the government on India. So I'm not going to tell you much. I'll give him the opportunity to introduce himself. But before we proceed, I just want to ask you where, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know anything, during the conversation. If you have a question for Mr. Vilas, please ask your question. And if you want to participate and be part of the conversation, don't hesitate to put anything in the comment area so that we can address it. And this show is for you. So we really, if you're watching live, we really encourage you to be very proactive. But for the time being, let's bring Mr. Vilas and have, a conversation on the need and also what circular economy is bringing us and what are the challenges as well, and also really see what is, the impact in the textile industry. So don't go anywhere. We are starting. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Virat Telekima Global Leadership Organization.
Real is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others, and you are not alone.
Hello, hello. Welcome, Mr. Vilas. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. Like I said,
It's
it's
my
always
pleasure.
a pleasure to have, experts like yourself sharing their knowledge, sharing their expertise, and showing the passion that they have for what they're doing. So before we, proceed and have a conversation about, circular economy, I just want you to introduce yourself again to the audience and let us know, who you are and shared with the audience before you join us.
Sure, sure. See, I'm Mr. Vilas Gharat from India. Namaskar. I'm proud to be a son of ex-army man, and I'm proud to be an Indian. I love my country very well. So, I'm a textile engineer, graduated in India, worked in India as well as abroad, having about 50 years of experience in a textiles in a different corporates. I've been having my company Gharat and Associates where we take the projects, but since pandemic there is no projects, so we are doing a mentoring to the students as well as the non-performance. So I'm an Indian and love to be an Indian. That is what I am.
Mhm. Fantastic, and there's a lot going on in India. We know that, and it's things are booming in terms of looking at how this, because I read recently that India is now the most populous country in the world. So lots of people, lots of knowledge, lots of brains that you we can learn from. And really, as you said, the mentoring is going to be key, especially the mentoring of the next generation. But with those challenges come as well as, you have a big population. How do you, manage the economy, and how do you make it easier for people to be able to participate, but also to make sure you live in, you make the environment livable? And that's where circular economy is coming. And just before, going deep into the subject, what is circular economy? Because we hear a lot about circular economy, but what is circular economy?
Yeah, it's a need of a time. What we were following up to now
Mm-hmm.
is a linear economy. The linear
Mm-hmm.
economy means take a raw material, manufacture, produce a product, produce a waste, sell the product, and dump the waste.
Mm-hmm.
But now the time has come. The price of a square feet is very high.
Mm-hmm.
I will say in India, the minimum price of a house for a square feet is right from 200 US dollar to 500 US dollar. And that's why every
Wow.
square feet is very, very important. So what we
Mm-hmm.
produce, the by way of a waste, we have no place to dump. This is
Mm-hmm.
one part of it. The second part of it is that whatever waste we are producing is contributing to the pollutions, carbon emissions, along with the many diseases like pandemics. So it's a need of a time that we have to get rid of this linear economy to the circular economy.
Mm-hmm.
And God is already taught us what is circular economy.
Mm-hmm.
For example, water. Water is being naturally evaporated, circulated, and again brought it to us free of cost. So the circular economy is what you take a raw material, produce whatever byproducts are there, or try to reuse, circulate it, and reuse it, and come to a minimum wastages or the zero wastages. That is a circular
Mhm.
economy. The circular economy will reduce your costs, will increase the employment because there will be many such units to produce the different products from the wastages. So this is
Mhm.
the circular economy and need of a time.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but there are many challenges also. The challenges are mindsets.
Yeah.
Mindset is a biggest challenge to accept the circular economy. We believe in throwing the goods or preserving the goods without use, in spite
Mhm.
of having a costly place with us. And that's why the circular economy has got many challenges across the world.
Mhm.
In India, if I talk about the textile industry, the cotton is being produced by the farmers, and in the same field, the farmer is using the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, which he is bringing by from outside. Instead of that, there are a lot of animal waste. Then there are a lot of plant waste. If we make out of that any fertilizer, compose it to the fertilizer, that is the simple way of a circular economy.
Mhm.
So his cost will be reduced. The wastages which he is going to throw anywhere, which also will be reduced. These are the simple examples of a linear economy and a circular economy. The circular economy is a big term, financial term is given to a business
Mhm.
where the business can produce varieties of a product from a one raw material instead of one product.
Mhm.
Can be manufactured many products, sub products, and sub products out of that. For example, you are receiving the raw material or chemicals in packages, wooden package, tin package, or cardboards. And these packages
Mhm.
very strong, made out of 5 ply, 7 ply, or with a good wood, because the product which that package is carrying, the cost is more. And those packages are being thrown outside,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
can be reused and can be converted as a circular economy. I'm happy to share one of my childhood story. In India, we had a system of giving the milk bottle to a center where the milk is available.
Mhm.
They used to give us the fresh bottle. Means the bottle was reused and reused. And there was a factory in Mumbai where these bottles were washed hygienically and rebottled. So that's the way. These are the old stories. But nowadays we get the milk in the plastic bags,
Mhm.
and plastic bags are being thrown in the dustbins. And as you know, the plastic is a hazardous. It is the highest carbon emission item. So this is what I talk about the circular economy. That is
And
what.
yeah, and you talked about the mindset, and that's a big issue. And what I really wanted to know is what can be done, to help people to have the right mindset, and really start to adopt, the circular economy, and understand that they are also part of it, and they need to make the effort
Yes,
to be able to make the circular economy sustainable. So, what are the different things that you do to try to change the mindset of people to switch from the linear economy to the circular economy?
I would like to give you one more example which has
Mm-hmm.
been happening in India. That is called as a in Mumbai. There are tiffin carriers. They are known as a Mumbai Dabbawala.
Mm-hmm.
What happens generally? The people are going to the offices, and in Mumbai, the traveling time is more, and that's why they cannot carry their lunch boxes or they cannot come home to have their lunch. That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem with 80% of the working people in Mumbai or metropolitan city in India. So these tiffin carriers, they carry the dabba, give it to those people, and get it returned back to his house. But as usual, as per our mindset of Indian mindset or any human mindset, we never finish our food completely. We never wash our tiffin carrier to that level that nothing remains there. So those people have taken a permission from the clients to use those leftover food. They are collecting the food and they have been distributing this food to the poor people. It's a kind of a mindset. And to be honest with you, these people are not educated also. They are not highly educated, but the mindset is there. So this is one of the mindset that whatever we have excess, whatever you are producing excess or wastages, we should have a mindset to reuse. May not be myself, but somebody should use it. We try to find out, we try to showcase what is with us which can be used. That is a common man's need nowadays. For example, for a textiles, we are not using our garments more than 2 or 3 years, maximum 3 years. Those garments can be given to
Yeah.
the poor people. It can be reused, it can be altered and reused for the children, for elderly people, for so many things. So that is kind of a circular economy a common man can do. As against for the industry, yes, there are many big projects. Suppose a one industry is there and they can find out what are the byproducts they are getting from their production line and create the satellite unit who can make use of that byproduct and create some more product so that that can be sold to the people who need it. So gradually your cost will come down, employment will be more, and your industrialization of a country will grow.
So
And
it's
yes, please.
it's still a great, a long way and education, and you've been working with the young generation. So is it
Yes,
something that you talk
yeah,
about and help them with as well? Okay.
yes. We have been working as a mentor of change for NITI Aayog, Atal Innovation
Mm-hmm.
Mission. We had one competition, ATL marathon competition, in which we are given a 8 subject to the students to resolve the local problems.
Mm-hmm.
To my surprise, as well, maybe for your surprise, a child came with the solution and made a prototype project.
Mm-hmm.
Pandemic, there was a shortage of oxygen. So the 3 girls came together. They have made the chemical and mechanical combination to break the water into the oxygen and the hydrogen. And they gave a name,
Wow.
green oxygen, which you can create. They have made a prototype machine by which from a water you can break it to the oxygen, can be used for the patient at home, and pure water
Mm-hmm.
can be used for your drinking purpose. That is not still commercialized. That has been last month only is prototype, and we have that 3 girls were definitely being felicitated. So this is one case I can. The second case,
Mm-hmm.
we have a broken cycles with us, which are not used for many months or years. A boy came out with the solution, taken a small chair which is lying at the one corner at the village house. He put
Mm-hmm.
the wheels to those chair and he made his grandpa and grandma a wheelchair.
Wow.
The chair was lying somewhere, wheels were lying somewhere. This is the Indian brain, the child. This is what is happening today. The as I said earlier also, the age from 6 to 12 is the age
Mm-hmm.
is the brain can be moved very well and is most creative. So that is happening in the mentoring sessions also.
And that's good because it is also linked to the challenge of climate change. So everything everything is linked. So it's important that we start educating the young generation to understand how it impact them, but also how they can play a role and start to get the right mindset and continue with this mindset for to show to apply and implement the circular economy. But I mean, apart from the challenge of the mindset, what are the key obstacles that you think are blocking the implementation of circular economy?
Uh, the mindset of a manufacturer as
Mm-hmm.
well as the customer
Mm-hmm.
and the government authorities.
Mm-hmm.
See, there are so many rules and regulation which doesn't permit you to do, and customer feels that how can I use a product which has been produced from the West?
Mm-hmm.
That is the a different mindset, a customer's view of that. So
Mm-hmm.
you,
Mm-hmm.
if you say that this product is from west of the particular product, the
Mm-hmm.
customer might is still not ready to accept that thing,
Yeah.
in spite of a lower cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
example, for example, there are a lot of second hand or used garments have been exported to the African countries.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? But that is sold as a used one. Instead
Mm-hmm.
of that, one of the garment player has converted those big garments, jeans, into the kids' garments, smaller jeans and jackets and all this.
Mm-hmm.
And the container got rejected, telling that yes, it
Yeah.
is made from the West.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is
Mm-hmm. And but yeah. Mm-hmm. But one thing I wanted to understand, obviously there is this side of the circular economy, but there also probably a demand in the technology as well, looking at new technology for to help the the circular economy to be sustainable. So how is it, how is it going? I mean, in terms of the technology, is it something that needs, drastic innovation, drastic change?
yes.
How is it, helping how technology can help circular economy?
So there are many technologies have been developed in developing
Mm-hmm.
countries as the developed countries also. With these
Mm-hmm.
technologies, this recycling, you take plastic bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Across the world, plastic bottles are, you find as a waste. But there is a
Mm-hmm.
technology by which you can convert those plastic bottles into the yarn and make the fabric out of it, which can be
Mm-hmm.
used as a technical fabric for protecting your roads, protecting your dams as
Mm-hmm.
a protector. It is a fresh fabric, and that is a different technology altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, there are certain furnitures have been made out of this plastic waste
Mm-hmm.
by dissolving, mixing with some other ingredients, and few of the furnitures are being made. The caster wheels are being made
Mm-hmm.
for the trolleys. So the technologies are there, and that is going to help us. But basically, we have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you start accepting it, the human mind will start developing the technologies. And
Mm-hmm.
without technology, nothing will happen. So those
Yeah.
technology will give a sustainable position to the industry and to the country.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 And that's an important message for, especially as a country like India, where people talk about high unemployment in some areas. It's really to understand that there are opportunities, in the circular economy, and at each level. So from, the technological part to really, just the simple habits to have, on a daily basis, and also the education part of people, to educate them about what circular economy is, the needs, and also the advantages of really focusing on implementing it. So we're going to have a break, and we will be back on this conversation, which is really enlightening for me, and I hope for the for the people who are going to listen as well. And so, like I said, if you're just joining us, my guest today is Mr. Vilas, all the way from India, and our focus is on the circular economy. So, if you have any question, even while you watching the replay, please don't hesitate to let us know. And any input that you can have to this conversation is really welcome. So, don't go anywhere. We will be back in few minutes. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. We are back with Mr. Vilas, all the way from India, and also focusing on a topic that is of actuality and a topic that needs, a mind shift. And that's what we're trying to do to start here by focusing on this conversation. So I mean, just wanted to ask you, as we talk about circular economy, obviously, you focus on India, but what is the benefit of also looking at what's happening globally, and how do you work, with people, outside India that are also focusing on the circular economy?
Yes, definitely. As India is focusing on circular economy, and
Mm-hmm.
many countries they are doing it. They are trying to adopt in a very faster way for the circular economy. They are discarding their linear economy,
Mm-hmm.
and it is said that if the India may reach to a reduction of a green gas that emission by 44 to 45% by 2050,
Mm-hmm.
and that the emission of a carbon reduction by one country is going to help the other countries
Mm-hmm.
because the atmosphere is one. Similarly, the many European countries are also doing all these things. I can't give you statistics or the name
Mm-hmm.
of the country, but yes, they are two steps ahead in
Mm-hmm.
adopting circular economy. And
Mm-hmm.
India is definitely following them, trying to be one of them to reach to a higher level. We in India have a higher population, and that's why anything we do, if you take a 1% improvement in a population of 100 crores and 10 crores,
Mm-hmm.
so that impacts more. So I'm sure that other countries are also having so many uh, new technologies which they are being introducing, especially you may be knowing for the water
Mm-hmm.
scarcity in a Gulf and and countries. They are being having the technologies to use the seawater and all these things
Mm-hmm.
for a
Mm-hmm.
drinking purpose for seminal. They are using the technology. On the
Mm-hmm.
contrary, they are seawater is bifurcated, divided into the salt, pure water, wastewater, and that is being used in a multiple purposes. And the salt is produced, pure salt is also produced from the seawater. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many minerals in the seawater that also is being separated while purifying this water and going for the drinking water. So there are
Mm-hmm.
many technologies have been there in the worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
as you
Yeah.
know, carbon gas emission, the Paris Pact, and all these things, people wants to be on a lowest in 2050.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody commitment, and that will help by a circular economy only by reusing the product to
Mm-hmm.
the maximum end and throwing only a minimum things. That is
Mm-hmm.
a worldwide improvement. That is
Yeah.
what I.
It's definitely, I mean, there's definitely a change to have. And as you were talking about the water, which is, something that we don't really talk a lot about, the scarcity of the water, and how do we make sure, we address that. And one thing that I really wanted to know, especially given that you are an expert in the textile industry. We talk a lot about the energy sector and being oil and gas being an industry that is polluting, but the fashion industry and which is related to the textile is also very polluting. So how do address the pollution, but
Yes.
also how do you implement circular economy in such an industry?
A fashion industry, fashion, there are two aspect of any fashion.
Mm-hmm.
One is a design aspect, it's the
Mm-hmm.
engineering aspect or of a fabric, and
Mm-hmm.
second, color of a fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? And that is the synthetic. That
Mm-hmm.
is, the color is the chemicals,
Mm-hmm.
and the maximum pollution is because of that color. And the fashion industry requires varieties of a color.
Mm-hmm.
Every human being has got his own favorite color. Every country has got its own color. So now this color dyes and chemicals, people are started developing, and there are many vegetable colors have been developed.
Mm-hmm.
These vegetable colors will not harm or create any pollution. It is
Mm-hmm.
easy washable and can be dissolved in a simple water as
Mm-hmm.
against synthetic color. So the fashion industry is also moving towards the eco-friendly product.
Mm-hmm.
Cotton
Mm-hmm.
is also produced which is having a eco-friendly characteristics. So,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, it requires some more cost, but that is being in good demand. But fashion industry firmly about the color, and that there are certain countries have got the restrictions or the
Mm-hmm.
demand. Please use the vegetable colors only. So that
Mm-hmm.
is one of the great technology is being developed in India and across
Mm-hmm.
the world. That is there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how is the because in everything, there's always the regulation because and that's an aspect that we always attach to the economy, and especially when it comes down to making sure that people follow some of the rules or people implement things. So how is the regulation regarding circular economy? Is it something that is well developed, or is it still kind of in its infancy, and it still need
Yes,
to
this is
get
also one of the.
to get in.
It's very important point you touch. See, whatever
Mm-hmm.
rules and regulations have been made
Mm-hmm.
are not strictly followed, not only in India but in many of the countries.
Mm-hmm.
And those, for simple example, if you want to make separation of your wastage grade wise, weight, dry, this, that.
Mm-hmm.
But is it done 100% to the perfection? No. So, any segregation, any rules, which again comes to a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Why we require to have a rule to make us unpolluted?
Mm-hmm.
Why we want to be a polluted and make other polluted?
Mm-hmm.
We want to have a rules for making the pollutions or avoiding a pollution. So that's a kind of a, again I come to that our mentoring. We have
Mm-hmm.
been mentoring to the students to make their mindset about the pollutions, emissions, and all these things. So, the future generation will carry all these things without any rule. And I firmly believe discipline never comes with only rule.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with the practice of from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
The parent has to follow, then only children will follow.
Mm-hmm.
If the parent don't follow and want children to follow, it's a futile exercise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it takes time. It takes time, and that's why it is important to start early, and make sure that we educate across the generations, because the young, not only the young people, but also the people who are at a certain age, because some of them have already adopted some way of doing things, so it's really difficult to have them to shift and understand really the benefit, and have them to implement. They can understand the benefit, but because they've not done it most of their life, they tend to stay in their routine and not really implement it. So that's a key one here. And I was also mindful of understanding, especially in terms of managing the recycling process, or managing the waste, if we have waste. What are the key infrastructure that are needed? Because it can be a challenge, if the countries or the regions don't have the infrastructure. So how do you bridge that gap?
Yes, it's very true. The, the amount of wastage is being produced
Mm-hmm.
with a higher population of a countries like India, China, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
We really do not have an infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
to really recycle or convert into the other product. And that's why it's
Mm-hmm.
my firm recommendation to across the world, if you have any such projects with us, we are ready to collaborate with you, where you
Mm-hmm.
create infrastructure for recycling of our products. Take any
Mm-hmm.
industry, petroleum industry, textile industry, any industry,
Mm-hmm.
the expertise country or the people who has got the expertise, it's my urge to them to approach the government of India or the industrial forum
Mm-hmm.
through any platform and offer your infrastructure so that there will be a growth mutually for both
Mm-hmm.
the countries. That is, we cannot do everything that we 100% agree with you, but we
Mm-hmm.
require larger infrastructure of technology and financial background for conversion of
Mm-hmm.
it. And there
Mm-hmm.
may be many countries who can join the hands under our honorable Prime Minister's initiative, Make
Mm-hmm.
in India. You can make anything in India and sell it anywhere in any country. Where we have been doing a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
country, even making a trains, these, that. So many things have been made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's appeal to all the innovators or creators to facilitate us with the better infrastructure and
Mm-hmm.
collaborate with us. The collaboration is very, very essential for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's something I wanted to really, ask, is that, how do you create those, platforms and to have the right collaboration, because, like you said, collaboration are going to be key to implement to implement the circular economy. So, what are the things that are, that you've seen that are working, or the platform that you think are out there that really, push the implementation of the circular economy?
Yes. I can give you an example of a textiles
Mm-hmm.
where uh, I'm a trustee of a Textile Association of India.
Mm-hmm.
We have been trying to assist the farmers
Mm-hmm.
to a good collaborators to convert their wastages into the oil,
Mm-hmm.
because that cotton is a seed, and the seeds are separated from the cotton.
Mm-hmm.
That cotton is used for the making of fabric, and seeds are thrown. But the oil can be made out of those seeds, and there are
Mm-hmm.
certain operators who are already helping the farmers to convert into the oil, which can give you a lights. You can burn the oil
Mm-hmm.
for the lights in the villages, or for many, for lubrication. Many can be done, but that
Mm-hmm.
all these things have been used. So that collaboration we are already been doing under the
Mm-hmm.
platform of Textile Association. Similarly, as you say that for African countries, we are
Mm-hmm.
trying to develop a different platform to convert our fabric or the garments, used garment, by reusing or refurbishing and making a kids garment. That platform
Mm-hmm.
also we have been doing on.
Okay, fantastic. So it is really enlightening to, to get, this information today. And I will, encourage the again the audience to really, get deep into the circular economy, and if in doubt, reach out to you to get more information, or to understand how they can get involved to help, because it's all our responsibility at this stage now. It's not about
Yes.
one group of people, and no, we all have to understand, what circular economy is, the need, the challenges, and how we can, play a role with, in whatever capacity we think, to be able to push this agenda, and have, the get away from the linear economy to move to the circular economy. So we're going to have just a very short break, and then we'll come back for the conclusion of the show. It has been really, it went really quick. We're already, close to an hour, but we will be back. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in few minutes.
Don't hide the real you behind clouds of darkness. Let your light shine as brightly as the star inside you. Inside you lies a queen. Now it's time for the queen to rise. A beautiful yet humble girl who saved a generation through her bravery. Of the 24 books in the Hebrew Bible, 2 are named for women, one of which is the story of Queen Esther. Do you have a story to tell? Now is your chance to become a part of one of the biggest collaborative biblical projects yet.
So we are back. We are back with Uh, uh, Dr. Vilas, and we are Engineer Vilas. Sorry, And we are, now, closing our conversation on circular economy. And what I really wanted to, you, Engineer Vilas, is let us know, what is the message that you really want us to stay with as far as circular economy is concerned before we leave the platform.
My simple message that I have conveyed my wish to my family member after my soul is away from my body. Instead of burying my body or burning my body, try to use every part of my body for the benefit of a needy people is a true circular economy of a life.
Mhm. Wow, wow, that is really powerful. Donating your body for a cause which is powerful. Donating your body for circular economy. So thank you for this great message. I hope it's gonna encourage a lot of our viewers to really consider and a circular economy and really see how they can help to implement it themselves, in their own environment, but also make sure that they actually advocate for it, champion it, and action, and have this shift, this shift that we were talking about, because as you said, it's about the mindset and how we can shift this mindset to understand the need and the advantage of switching from the linear economy and to the circular economy, and see how it is linked to whatever we are trying to address, especially the climate issue and the water drought as well, that we're starting to see in some areas in the world. So thank you again, Engineer Vilas, for your input and for this amazing conversation again. And how can you remind us how people can connect with you if they want to continue this conversation, away from this platform?
They can contact me on my email ID
Mm-hmm.
vilasgharat@gmail.com,
Mm-hmm.
or my telephone number +91
Mm-hmm.
9833 214 404.
Fantastic. So thank you for that. And I think you're also available on LinkedIn. People can also try to connect with you on LinkedIn under Garat and Associates, so they can have it. And then also, I think you have also a page, Facebook page, that they can also consult to see what you do and connect with you as well. So thank you again for a wonderful conversation, and on educating us about circular economy, and it to to the table, and for us to understand that it's not just the expert or the people that has the knowledge right now, like you, that are concerned about that needs to be concerned about circular economy. It's all of us, irrespective of what we know or we don't know. It is now part of our life, and we have to understand the challenges, the needs, and really put ourselves, put the make effort, and use whatever knowledge, tools, or anything that we can do to be able to make our economy circular and sustainable. So thank you very much again, and
Thank you.
you've
Namaste.
enjoyed as well the conversation. I have enjoyed it, and I have learned a lot from you today. And again, so be blessed, and enjoy the rest of your evening, Engineer Vilas. And thank you for always coming and bringing, the conversation to another level. So thank you very much for that. And for the audience, please, share these conversations, share this message. It's not meant to just stay in here with us. We really want you to understand, what circular economy is all about. And if in doubt and if you have questions, please reach out to Engineer Villas for more, more insight. Because obviously, in 1 hour, it's impossible to talk about everything. But in your own time, you can just connect with him and get to know more. So I will be back for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show in few hours, because we're going to continue the series on the blueprint of Evan, the woman. I'm gonna have some 5 co-hosts. So I'll be back in a few hours. Bye bye, and see you later.